you whore, you bitch, you ugly, why are you dressed like this? Why are you so fat? Hi all, I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life stories as well as talking with you all based on my everyday conditions of mental health, of the Asperger's syndrome and the like. As you can see by the title right now, is how to deal with being hated by others. This will be broken down into 4 parts into just one video, hopefully, if I've got time permitting, depending, hopefully it will. So, in order to do, guys, also I do also some support messages for you in your time of need, regardless of what you go through. And hopefully with this we can go through it all. So hopefully this will be an education resource tool for you all. So hopefully we're learning everything along the way. If you're enjoying these, smash the like button, and also maybe just comment below, say hey Aspie, I'm enjoying these videos. And also maybe feel free to comment below also if you want to see other topics that I've been sharing with you all lately. That's coming of late, obviously, because it's a broad topic of the narcissist and sociopath that needs to be addressed, as well as some more of the autism and series that I want to share with you all, regardless what it may be. So let's begin this before we run out of time again. So as you know, most people may experience being hated at some point in their life, regardless where it may be it, you know, in person, be it behind closed doors, on the internet, or whatever. In some cases, we may have been wronged by someone, and then we feel that we should be apologizing to them, and we do our best, however, make amends with that person that we feel that, you know, we're being hated upon. It doesn't always work, however, how I look at it. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, you've apologized, and then you need to realize that you just may have to move on, because some haters obviously out there to just, you know, ruin us in one way or another. However, if someone hates us for any other reasons, however, that doesn't affect them, like our identity or taste in clothing, here's a classic example in my introduction when I introduced you all. We shouldn't have to change for who and what we are, how we speak, how we think, how we should react, or what have you. We should be able to be comfortable in our own skin, how we look at it. You know, instead of doing our best to protect ourselves both mentally and physically from these haters, just remember that it is forever impossible to please everyone. Believe you me, I've tried that for many years, trying to please everyone in my field of trying to fit in and blend in and everything else, and now I realise that I need to just stand out and be different, even if I am going to get hated upon for a lot of people. And try not to let the unjustifiable hostility get us down from these haters, which I usually classify these jealous, insecure people, haters, as you know from my previous videos, like a letter to my haters and everything else, which I'll clearly link it up to my video here on the top right screen. You should see our I bar if you want to see more of what I'm talking about on these topics of haters. So as I said before, I think it's going to be broken down to 3 or 4 methods of these, so hopefully step by step and be easy to follow. And let's begin this anyway. Method 1, handling haters indirectly. Number 1, if and when possible, don't even bother to engage with your haters. Bullies often feed upon the thrill of provoking a reaction from us, even though many haters like seeing that reaction, regardless if we do try to make a stand naturally, you know, thing, or trying to show our emotions of rage, you know, unhappiness or whatever. Quite often haters are trying to validate themselves by making us feel bad. They're the bullies, obviously. They want to make themselves feel bigger, smarter than anyone else. They think they're the king of the world or the queen of the world. They think they can take their time doing so. This can spiral into a vicious cycle, or circle where the hater insults you, you react, and then the hater reacts to your reaction. Bullies are a very special type of hater, however, as I mentioned. For someone to be a bully, though, their actions must be repetitive, or there must be some type of power imbalance that is involved in this step. While all bullies are haters, not all haters are bullies, just to bear in mind. For example, you may have a little brother that can call you names without being bullied, since you're probably bigger and stronger than he is. Likewise, if a classmate says one nasty thing to you, then he or she isn't a bully. In general, passive methods are better than dealing with bullies, while confrontation may be best to address other kinds of haters. If your hater is annoying you in class, pretend you can't hear them. If your hater provokes you or tries to get your attention, try not to respond in any form of way. Remember that ignoring hate isn't always the best in every circumstance. If the person who hates you starts to physically or verbally assault you, it's best to get other people involved, especially their authority figure, to make yourself feel safe, be it a teacher or work supervisor or anyone sort of thing. Number 2, project confidence. Self-confidence is your best weapon against the hater. Laugh it off of these insults, drop the witty comebacks, and stay positive. If you don't let your confidence slip, a hater is more likely to get even more frustrated and may simply start leaving you behind or leaving you alone. For example, if someone insults you about your art, take the high road. Try saying, I'm sorry you feel that way, but art is subjective. I'm just doing my best to improve though, so I would appreciate any constructive criticism you may have. If someone calls you weird, you could say, maybe I am a little bit, but I like who I am. What's wrong with being weird? When you are walking by someone who hates you, don't walk down or lean the other way. That kind of posture tells the hater that you're afraid of them, that you're giving that hater the satisfaction of what he or she wants. Instead, sit up tall with your head held high. 3. Avoid the haters. This doesn't mean that you should hide away from anyone. Believe you me, that's not always good. You should never let the bullies rule your life. However, simply try to put yourself into situations that don't require you to interact with these haters. When you're young, you will especially get a lot of hate from people who don't understand your interests and passions, your thoughts and everything else. Instead of hanging around those sort of people, look for other ways to pursue these passions outside the scope of their own negativity. If you're dealing with especially malicious haters in one of your classrooms, ask if you can be transferred to a different classroom. If you're facing haters in a club or group, consider whether you can find another group that's not so negative. If you know that a particularly nasty person is always in the same spot every day, don't go to that very same spot. Find a way around or ask a group of your peers to go past with the spot with you. Avoiding the haters is also a great way to boost your self-confidence, as mentioned before. This gives you an opportunity to pursue your interests without the flood of these negative thoughts and doubts about yourself. Number 4, proving wrong. If your haters are saying that you can't do something, the best way to shut them up is to show them up. Do the thing that they say you can't do and do it well. Use their hate to fuel your drive, your passions, your energy, everything else in you. For example, if your haters tell you you never will be good at sports, you can prove them wrong by working hard at it. Join a team in a sport of your choice if you don't already belong to one, and throw yourself into practice. If the haters think you are too scared to talk to your crush, let that motivate you into finally asking them out. Be aware that proving haters wrong doesn't always make them stop, however. In some cases, your success should make the haters even more jealous and insecure about themselves. This isn't a reason to keep yourself from succeeding though, but don't do anything just to show them up. Live life for yourself and not for others around you. Do what you feel is best for you. Method 2, confronting haters. Number 1, speaking up. If you can't take it anymore, forever don't. Avoiding haters doesn't always resolve the problem, as I mentioned before. Find a moment to speak honestly with these people if you can, and try to explain where you're coming from. Speak with each hater as a mature and conscious equal, no matter how rudely the other person has been in the past to you. This is especially important for passive haters, who may not insult you directly. Try telling your hater something like this: I've been getting a lot of negative energy from you recently, and I appreciate if you keep these thoughts to yourself. It's so childish, and I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. Try to understand why your hater is acting this way. Ask them, for example, have I done something to personally wrong you? You seem to be taking a lot of negative out on me, and I don't forever understand why. Number 2, don't be rash. Haters feed on your emotions and your reactions, as I said before. If you respond quickly and emotionally, there's a good chance that you won't be able to make a good strong point to address it to them. If you need to talk to them in the first step of speaking out and speaking up. If you lash out, you only give them more reason to make fun of you. Do not let your words be clouded by your anger or frustration. Give yourself the time to cool down before you respond to them. Number 3, avoid physical violence. Resolving conflict with measured words and confident maturity. If hatred is fire, be like water and extinguish it. Be cool, calm, and collected. Fighting fire with fire doesn't always work. While you should never start a fight, don't let a hater hurt you. Learn self-defense if need be. If this does, consult into this and protect yourself. Turn your attacker's strength against them. Method 3, dealing with cyberbullies. Number 1, don't respond to trolls. Haters you run into online can sometimes be even more persistent than the ones you see every day in your life that you see physically. However, remember that their motivations are usually the same as the ones you see every day. They're looking for a reaction from you. Luckily, there are many ways of shutting down these cyberbullies. Number 2, block the harassers. Most online platforms will allow you to block communication from certain users, using this feature to keep your hater from contacting you. On many forums, this feature will even hide their public posts from you to keep them from ruining your day. Check the rules of the game or website, however, Most prohibit trolling, threats, and any other inflammatory communications instead of responding to such attacks. Report them to a moderator. 3. Protecting your privacy. Don't use your real name outside of Facebook and professional websites. This is especially important if you have a unique name that can easily be tracked through a search engine. Use a nickname when playing games and posting on forums. Consider using different nicknames to keep dedicated trolls from following you to multiple websites. Always remember that anything you put on the internet can potentially be accessed forever and stays there forever. Even if you think a forum is private, you delete something, a hater can easily download it or screenshot it for later use. 4. Think before you post, especially if you're a minor. Be extremely careful what type of information you give out online. Don't post things that could tip a stalker off to your own home address or your typical daily schedule of what you do. 5. Tell someone if you feel threatened. If a hater goes from petty insults to direct threats, and simply ignoring them may not be enough for you. If this does happen, 6. Don't delete anything. Although you may be tempted to make these hurtful words disappear, however, it's better to keep them. Save all emails, messages, and chat logs. Certain types of cyberbullying are illegal. If things do escalate to where authorities need to get involved, you will need to have proof into what happened. So always have backup. 7. Take criticism gracefully. If you're in a business, you're likely to get some negative reviews online. The anonymity of the internet can encourage disgruntled people to speak much more harshly than they would to your face. Don't let their words destroy your confidence, however, but do consider them carefully. Just because something is said in a negative way doesn't mean it's wrong. It's better to think of this type of a hater as a harsh critic instead. Same thing goes if you're a writer or artist and post your work online. Nasty comments like these are distinct from harassment and should be dealt with very differently. 8. Try reaching out to critics with personalized comments. Be empathetic, logical, and polite. Offer solutions. Try not to respond out of anger with poorly thought out words. Consider not engaging at all. It's hard to please everyone. It's hard to meaningfully connect with someone over a comment board. This is especially true when a person has a habit of making hateful remarks. This is the nature of having an online presence. Some people may hate you for the very things that they love, that other love. Last but not least, method for staying grounded. 1. Maintain perspective. These haters may incredibly be annoying right now, and they may even be making your life miserable, but think how much that really matters. Odds are that before you know it, you'll be in a completely different headspace. Life does change by its very nature. Do not let these haters dominate your life when they can be a minor, unpleasant aspect of it too. Remember that experiences are temporary. Think about how long you'll have to deal with these haters. Imagine yourself in 5 years. Consider where you want to go and what you want to do to pursue in your life. Ask yourself whether these haters will still be a part of your life then. Odds are you know your haters through school. There's a good chance that after a few years you'll never have to see these haters again. Persevere until then. If these haters will still be a part of your life in 5 years, ask yourself, what can you do to change it? Can you change schools? Can you change yourself? Can you confront them now and take care of the problem? If the haters will not be a part of life in 5 years, think about why. Perhaps you're going away to college, or you're switching to a different job, or you're shifting your social circle. Is there any way you can make this transition happen any sooner? 3. Forgive the haters. Understand that hatred reflects back upon who spreads it. These people are more likely not hating on you because of the wrongness or deficiency on your part. Odds are that on some level they are uncomfortable with their own identities. Some people even act hatefully because they are often jealous or because they don't stop to think about how their words will impact others. Find the empathy to open your heart. If you forgive your haters, you might find that their words will no longer bother you. Try to understand where they come from. And expand your awareness beyond your own experience and your own insecurities. Don't make mistake belittlement for forgiveness. Avoid telling yourself that these haters are just stupid or petty or small-minded, even if these things are true. Remind yourself that even haters are human beings with their own thoughts and feelings intact. Tips here are: always remember to stay strong. Strength in characters always defeat the strength in numbers. 2. Don't provoke hate. 3. Don't act stuck up or obnoxious or rude. 4. Next time someone flips you off or swears at you, give them the peace sign. 5. Remember it's not usually your problem if you are hated upon. If you've done nothing wrong, it doesn't matter if someone hates you for petty reasons. If people have such a problem with you, they should be mature enough to leave you alone. 6. If haters directed at your gender, ethnicity, religion, disability, or sexual orientation, it shouldn't be tolerated. If this is happening in school, speak with the teacher or administrator. If it's happening at your workplace, talk to your supervisor or human resources. 7. Don't let other people's opinions rent space in your head. You have better things to think about and more positive things you could be focusing on in life. 8. It's okay to have people to hate on you. You can't please everyone all the time, as mentioned. You're bound to run into people who dislike you for petty reasons or out of jealousy or what have you. If someone hates you, be proud of that you did something to garner that attention in the very darn first place. 9. Before things escalate, it can be a good idea to confront a hater early on, and if you can. It may turn out that they dislike you because of some form of misunderstanding. If you don't try to clear things up, you could miss out on an important friendship if there was one in the first place. 11. Don't care these people going to be in your life forever. Surround yourself with those who make you happy and you become successful. Warning. Don't get into fights. This is a good way to get into trouble with the school or even the law. 2. Don't seek revenge. It will be less likely to bite you in the ass later on in life. Well, this quickly ends a quick overview of how to deal with being hated upon by others and hate. Give me a like for thumbs up the support. Comment below. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. Feel free to subscribe to my channel because I do this on the hopefully daily, weekly, and you feel free to be part of my YouTube family. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can keep up to date with what I get up to. So don't put the do, guys. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out.